And then just remember, raise your hand, and so we can know who's going to go next. All right, go ahead, Mitch.
Okay. Yeah, Kevin, I was wondering, coming out of the exhibition games, was there something maybe you learned about this group when you reviewed the film that maybe you didn't realize about this team during summer and fall practices?
Everything, honestly. I mean, I'm still learning about our group. I was just telling the coaches in our meeting just now, it's really hard to learn about your team when you're just playing against the same bodies every day and the same schemes, and everyone knows what you're doing. So it would be really hard for me to just pinpoint one thing. I mean, I think I'm learning where to get AJ the ball. I'm thinking and learning about what do we need to do when Rob penetrates. I'm thinking about, when we take Rob out, who do we put in? It literally a litany of things. And so, it's great to have the caliber of opponents. I wish we were healthier for the Nebraska game so we could have treated it more like a real game, like we did the Carolina one, to really learn. But I could go on and on. I think for college basketball, I think the exhibition games have been tremendous. I wish they would go more to the NBA model where you have a lot more of those games. I think it's really good for the game. I think it helps the product when the regular season comes to be that much better.
And then wanted to also ask you just your thoughts. I mean, year two for you to start things off in a spotlight game where, it's one of the marquee games on the opening night of college basketball. How far this program has evolved under your watch to where it's in a marquee spot nationally in the sport.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think about it. It's what it should be. It's what I said we wanted to make this place when we got here. I'm grateful that people have decided to come here to help us put us in that situation. But this isn't like a feel good moment because we have a quote unquote big game. Like this is we want to play with the big boys. We want to be a contender in all things college basketball. And um, it's not like a badge of honor because we got a big game. It's like that's what we should want, and I'm glad that we have it. And now it's a matter of going out and producing.
All right, we'll go Jackson, then Jay.
Hey Kevin, I know that you had some guys sidelined during the exhibition games. Just wondering where you guys are at health wise, and if guys like Dawson and Nate are going to play against Villanova.
Still to be determined on Dawson. I think we'll have an update on Nate shortly. That's where we're at.
Go ahead, Jay Drew.
Yeah, Kevin, you're jumping right into this thing with a really good opponent in Villanova. What's kind of your readiness level of the team as opposed to maybe last year at this time?
I think the two exhibition games forced us to get a lot more ready. With all due respect to what we did last year's preseason, it's a lot different playing the caliber of opponent. So I think through that's helped us. I think, but at the same time, it's early, right? It's super early in the season, and we're still learning on how to play together. I'm still learning on how to sub this group. I'm still learning on the right actions that need to be run, the defenses that need to be employed. So I feel good. I just told the coaches in our meeting, I mean, this is the best I've felt all off season or preseason in terms of just how I'm wrapping my personal head around what this team and what this group of players needs. And it's an exciting challenge. That's what makes coaching really fun. Especially in this era, right, where things change or changing constantly year to year. It really, really puts a lot of strain on your mental capacity to have to think through all this stuff and get things ready. But I'm enjoying that challenge.
And then what have your preparations been like? Obviously, Kevin Willard is new at Villanova. Uh, the scouting, what has gone into that? What do you kind of expect from Villanova, and what have you prepared for?
I mean, he's obviously a veteran college coach, so I think he has an identity. I have several coaches on my staff that know the East Coast really well. We've tapped into a lot of our coaching friends out that way, have an understanding of what Kevin Willard is kind of hangs his hat on. He's obviously had a lot of success. And so, I think watching their exhibition game against Virginia was we try to learn from that. They played VCU on like a secret scrimmage, and so that film's not available. But actually, the head coach at VCU is one of the few college coaches that I know, Phil Martelli Jr. He was with our Sixers organization for a minute when I was out there, so we've chatted with him. and you just try to do your homework the best you can. I think it can cut both ways where you try to forecast too much and now maybe they don't even do what you had forecasted. So I think it's really important to go out there and be the best version of ourselves and not try to get so caught up in a guessing game of what they could do, but still want to give our guys a little bit of a heads up the best we can based on the things that we think they're going to do. So it's a bit of a balancing act.
All right, Mitch.
Yeah, Kevin, I was curious with a Monday night game, how much does that kind of alter routines? I know it's the first regular season game for this team, but with no Sunday, practice or anything like that, how does that alter things for you guys at BYU?
Don't know, honestly. Like we'll figure it out. It's one of our first times doing it, but not to get too like churchy or spiritual with you, but what I've found in my life, man, is when you kind of do what you're supposed to do, and in this case, not playing or doing things on Sundays, what we're supposed to do. Usually, you're blessed, and you're not you don't get a ding because you're trying to do the right thing, and that's just kind of how I've always approached these kinds of things, albeit more in my personal life and not necessarily in a work life, but that's my general approach there.
And then also kind of going back to the court, was there anything that you attribute the team struggles last week from 3 against Carolina? Is there any concern moving forward in that regard? They were 5 of 25 last week.
No, it's one game.
Fair enough.
All right, Jay, you're up.
Yeah, Kevin, in Kansas City, we forgot to ask you about being a dad again. How's the baby doing? How's that how's life going with a newborn in the household?
Nah, thanks for asking, Jay. I appreciate that. We're me and my wife, I think every night have asked ourselves, were all the kids this hard? You kind of we've had a 7-year hiatus, so we're remembering just how hard it is to have a newborn. But baby's healthy, mom's healthy. That's what's most important. I think sleep is definitely hard to come by. More for my wife, she's been great, letting me try to get rest when I can, but I try to still help as much as I can. But it's a blessing, man, to bring a new life into this world, and it's been really fun in our house.